It's Tuesday. I'm sleepy. I'm in bed. I took my husband to a red eye last night around midnight, and now he is with his family. So I might just, work from my bed for the next week while he's gone. The things that I thought we could talk about this week is environment. And so one thing that I think is really important is to have an environment that you not only feel comfortable in, but you also feel inspired and empowered by being in it. My bedroom is one of those rooms. Part of that is just the comfort of having, a space like your bed that you can sit in, fresh, like sunlight coming in the window, comfortable fabrics. And I have my own artwork hanging behind me. So also just this idea of things that bring you joy, things that remind you of your creativity, of who you are. And a lot of my work, at least in this series, has to do with growth. There's these layers of leaves and also hearts and pink and green relates to the heart chakra, but then these hearts that are pink are also kind of a new discovery in my life. It's been now a couple of years, but I was kind of adverse to the color pink for a very long time because of the gender norm around it. Similarly, I was adverse to the color red because of the implied sexiness that I felt was required of me in being a woman. I often didn't wear either one of those colors. I didn't buy things in those colors. And then I started really paying attention to color. And one of the things that came to me was the idea of gold. I was always drawn to gold. And so then when I started looking at the significance of that, of gold in relationship to alchemy or transformation. And so I kind of leaned into the gold. And then that led me into actually pink. Pink happened when I mourned the loss of my grandfather. He said to me, his last words were, "You're lovely. You've always been lovely." That word love and lovely just like brought the association of pink to my life. And so that year I celebrated my birthday by having a pink cake and a pink party, and I got "You're lovely" tattooed on my arm as a reminder in his handwriting that if my grandfather can see me this way, then I can view myself this way. So thinking about, again, visual reminders of things that we need in our spaces and even on our bodies to remind us of who we are, which is another layer of grounding, really, is coming back to self, because we're often overstimulated by our environments and we have things kind of shouting at us from all angles. And so when we can control our environment, we should to a certain degree. When it's our apartment, it's our studio space, it's our kitchen, how can we put things in our lives that actually allow us to come back to self, to come back to breath, which is what sustains us, to be reminded of the things that we are at our core. So for me, this idea of being a lovely person at my core was something that I felt I needed. I needed to have in front of me. I needed to be reminded that at my core, I am lovely. Also, the reminder that I'm a creative person and that making things is important to me. And so I hang a lot of my artwork around my apartment because I want to remember that that's like a crucial part of who I am. Often I hang work that's not even finished because that's part of who I am too. I want to see it, and then sometimes I take it off the wall and add to it. So living with these things that remind us of who we are. So I wanted to take a moment today to talk about environment and what do you have in your environments that sustain you, that ground you, that bring you back to your center or your core self. And if there aren't things, what would you like to add to your environment that could provide that? And again, thinking multisensory. So visual, yes, definitely 1,000%. I'm a visual person, so that's how I perceive a lot of things. But also thinking about tactile, soft fabrics if you want to be comfortable somewhere, sunlight, letting in nature. What are the ways that you can transform your environment so that it can be a safe place for you to feel like yourself? This is kind of just an intro to environmental art therapy. There's a whole load of stuff we can go into, even connecting outdoors in nature with environment and really having kind of a extreme grounding moment, knowing that we are from the earth and we are standing on the earth with these ancient trees and rocks and water and elements that are also from the earth, that we are all connected in that way. So this is a larger study, which we can go into at some point. But right now, I want you to think primarily about your environment in this very moment. So again, today, my feelings are, I am tired because I had to drive to the airport last night in the middle of the night, and then I was checking my phone all night just to make sure my husband got to where he was going. But I'm giving myself the space to exist in my bedroom in a comfortable space. Also, really think about this idea of what I surround myself with. Feelings today are tired, but also loved, I think, and comfortable. So in the chat, in the private message, in the Facebook group, type 3 words that you're feeling today, and maybe answer the question, what is in my environment that grounds me, centers me, reminds me of me? And if there isn't something, what do you want to put into your environment? Add something to your space that can bring you home when you are home. And you can even post a picture if you'd like. Thanks so much, and I will speak with you later on.